Hello and welcome back to the Master League here on the channel, and we are going to play Burnley away from home, and we are going to settle on the 4-3-3 that we went through, or I was considering in the last episode. I think this is a good formation that suits the players we've got and the players we've brought in. I think that is something we really do need to consider. Phil Jones is going to come in for Delict if he's on an Abaro. I might play Lindelof as well, give the two central defenders a rest. Who could replace Icardi? I mean, Mata gives us a boost in chemistry. Maybe we just leave him up there for now. Luke Shaw is going to be replaced by Tierney, I think, depending on what chemistry hit we get. No, they're the same, so that's okay. Weigl and Pogba can stay in there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just we've got a good squad. We're just still lacking in somewhere. We'll put Fred on the bench instead of Martial, because we've got Sancho on there as well. Mata can stay there, Luke Shaw can stay there, Diop, Lingard. Maybe Lingard can come off. Lingard, there isn't really a position for him, so we'll put McTominay on the bench. We need potentially more central midfielders. They're going to line up in a good old 4-4-2 in a very British way, but yeah, Vinko Peritin full of confidence ahead of today's game, and still rumours that Valencia could be transferred. He's not getting any game time at United, so we'll have to see what's going on. But yeah, Vinko Peritin not having the best of times. We find ourselves fourth bottom of the Premier League, but one win from one in Europe. So let's get into the game against Burnley, and we'll be back for the team lineups. So welcome to Turf Moor for the game. Burnley bringing home Man United for today, and this is how Burnley line up. Nick Pope in goal, Bardsley, Long, Tarkowski and Taylor at the back, Cork and Westwood in the middle, Lennon and Brady on the wings, Wood and Barnes in a very height orientated strike force. Let's just describe it as that. Man United lining up in the new 4-3-3 formation that was rumoured to be happening today. De Gea, Dalot and Tierney remain in their places. Lindelof and Jones come in as the centre backs. Herrera, Weigl and Pogba in the middle. Rashford, Lukaku and Icardi in what is likely quite a deadly front three if they hit form, as there is Long for Burnley, and Weigl impressing since he's joined Man United, getting a good goal against Dortmund in the Champions League. But other than that, he's he's been mopping up the midfield well, as here straight away is Ashley Barnes going forward. Lindelof puts in a good tackle and it falls to Pogba, who just overruns it, and then Lindelof is beaten to the ball and that falls back to Long as Burnley look to move it around. Left hand side is Brady, he goes back, and Burnley just keeping the ball. Looks to be running himself into a bit of trouble, and it goes up the wing again, and they've just run that out of play. Burnley just trying to be a little bit too intricate, which is not normally a word you'd associate for the way of Burnley playing. And now obviously the 4-3-3 that Peritin has picked in today's game is going to leave the fullbacks with a lot of work to do, as that takes a very strange deflection, flicks up into the air. Weigl just recycles the possession to Lindelof, and he goes in midfield to Herrera. Back to Phil Jones starting today's game, his first in the Premier League. And it goes up looking for Rashford, who lays that off to Diego Dalot, and Rashford's made a good run round the back of the defender. In it goes towards Lukaku. It's headed away very well by Tarkowski. It comes back to Diego Dalot, who puts a nice ball in, again looking for Lukaku, and Man United trying to find the big Belgian up front. He is flanked by two other strikers in today's game, in Icardi and Rashford, as the referee pulls that back for a free kick there. I think it was Ander Herrera maybe just getting a little bit too vigorously into the tackle. I think is it Long there that wins the foul? No, it was Chris Wood, sorry, that wins the foul. Herrera just gets a little talking to, not too sure what he did wrong there, but it did look like he clipped the player's foot before he got the ball. As Burnley make a good number of completed passes in this early stages. It goes up there, Ashley Barnes flicks it around the corner. Wood tried to then put it back into him, as Weigl brings it away. It goes up to Icardi. Lukaku now just turns, sees the run of Icardi in the middle, and it's a good stretch from the defender to win that ball. It goes up Lennon, up to Ashley Barnes, who finds his strike partner Chris Wood. Goes out to Robbie Brady on the left hand side, put under pressure by Herrera, and then it's a very good crossfield low driven pass out to Aaron Lennon. Kian Tierney defends that very well and gets the ball back. Icardi into Pogba. Pogba now comes forward with it, just looking to hold on to the ball. Man United get a bit of possession. Tierney to Lindelof, back to Jones. Burnley defending in numbers and defending quite deep. Man United are going to have to be patient, going to have to probe their way through this defence. Tierney up to Icardi, back to Tierney. Sees the run of Icardi trying to get in behind, and he just gets out-muscled off the ball, and that's not a good sign if you are Vinco Periton. You'd imagine Mauro Icardi would be brought in to be able to out-muscle some Burnley defenders, as that's laid back to Robbie Brady from Ashley Barnes. A good strong tackle from Victor Lindelof, and Rashford comes forward with it, lays it into Icardi's feet, back to Rashford, licks it off into the path of Dalot. Dalot looks to feed it in again. It's just one heavy touch too many from the Man United players, and they just seem a little lethargic, like they've not been working their hardest in pre-season or something like that. But 25 minutes gone at 0-0, and I think there's been no shots on target, if I remember my stats correctly, as that's a lovely dink ball over the top, looking for Ashley Barnes. Now this is Ashley Barnes on the ball now. Brady picking him out well. Pogba gets back and defends really well. Up it goes, Weigl into Pogba. Pogba on one more to Herrera. Up it goes to Lukaku. Lukaku spins around the corner into Icardi, who takes an unnecessary first touch to try and beat his man. And now that has played through Ashley Barnes. Ashley Barnes is through. Phil Jones tracks back and gets back at him, showing some good pace. It goes into Wood, who fires past the post, and Burnley have the first shot of the game in anger. And Man United look like they're struggling to adapt to this new formation Periton's asked them to play today. But yeah, it was good work here from Ashley Barnes, laid back in, and then Chris Wood, just put under pressure by Diego Dalot, fires his shot past the post. And David De Gea will be looking just for a quick ball out to the right hand side. Dalot heads it back to Phil Jones, who gives it back to the young Portuguese man. Out to the other side, out to Kieran Tierney. Infield to Weigl. Weigl to Pogba, lays that off first time to Kieran Tierney. He's been invited to get forward here. Tierney has options in the box, and that's a really wayward cross. He's actually hit the top of netting of the goal, and I don't think Tierney meant that to be a shot. It was definitely a cross looking for Lukaku or Rashford at the back post, but Tierney here just sort of got his footing wrong, but Pope was a little bit worried about it there, but nothing too daunting from the Burnley defence, and it is a goal kick which Nick Pope will take long, looking for one of the big strikers. And Ashley Barnes has got away from Victor Lindelof there and just managed to keep that in play. They find Chris Wood. Chris Wood now comes forward into Robbie Brady. Good tackle from Dalot. It falls back to Chris Wood into Barnes, but Diego Dalot is in a good position to intercept that. That's a really poor pass out from the back from Herrera, but Lindelof takes no prisoners with that nice shoulder barge to win the ball back from Chris Woods. It goes out to Charlie Taylor, who is robbed there by Herrera, and Herrera comes forward and he's got lots of runners in front of him. He's just waiting for the right option. Rashford holds it up into Icardi. Icardi into Lukaku. Lukaku looked to give it back into Icardi's path, but it just crowded out there. And now Burnley looking to turn defence into attack pretty sharpish as Wood lays that back. And Charlie Taylor holds onto the ball. Goes back into Chris Wood's feet, up the line to Robbie Brady. Man United trying to play the offside trap, but getting it all wrong. Into Ashley Barnes, and Man United find themselves 1-0 down to Burnley, and this is not the start that they would have wanted. A very bad patch of form Man United are in at the moment. Brady here given far too much time. Lovely ball in, and Barnes with a deft finish with the left foot. David De Gea has absolutely no chance, and Man United find themselves 1-0 down. Tierney gets the ball up to Icardi. Icardi looks into Lukaku. It's a really poor pass from Mauro Icardi. He really is struggling in this Man United team to make an impact, as Lindelof wins that header, but it will fall to the central midfielder, and Lindelof has enough pace to get back and stop Ashley Barnes with that through ball. It goes out to Diego Dalot, but at half time it's Man United 0, Burnley, the home team, 1. And this is a result that will be ruining accumulators up and down the country. 52% possession to Man United, 2 attempts on goal, none on target. 50% possession for Burnley, 2 attempts with 1 on target, and that was the goal. And Man United without a shot on goal and only 48% of possession. I think Vinco Periton needs to make some changes at half time. So Vinko Peritin at half-time changes formation and brings on Sancho for Weigl, one ex-Dortmund player, replacing another. It looks like Man United have reverted back to the 4-4-2 that was successful against Dortmund and got them the 1-1 draw at Southampton. Now that wasn't too much of a positive result, but the attacking intent was much better, and it looks like they've come out with a fire stuck up their bum as the ball in straight away, and it will be brought down by Pogba. Lays that off looking for Herrera. What a shot that is! It had a lot of bend on it. And Nick Pope had to get down early to make that save, and Man United have come out starting very, very well. A good header away from Tarkowski, but Pogba here chested it down, laid it off Herrera with a curling shot. It had dip, and Nick Pope made a cracking save to keep that out. It's just a bit wider from the goalkeeper. The outcome may have been different as Paul Pogba fires in at the free kick. Oh, and Herrera is nearly at the near post to keep that one alive as well, as Pogba into Herrera's path, lays it back to Pogba. And Pogba there just into Delot, back to Herrera. Herrera looks to just dink this into the back post, and Lukaku was under it, but couldn't get his head underneath the ball as Wood looks to bring it away. It's a good tackle on him there in the middle of the park, but they get it back. Sancho now have to do some defensive work with a high press. Man United trying to get the ball back. Lennon puts the ball out, and Ashley Barnes is tackled well by Lindelof, who does keep that in play. Sancho lays it into Paul Pogba, who's got lots of space to run into in the middle. Paul Pogba bursts through the defence, gets his shot off. What a save from Nick Pope again. And it's another corner to Man United. And Vinko Peritin must have absolutely rollicked them at half-time. Pogba here coming out and playing like a different man. Gets a left-footed shot off. What a great one-handed save from Nick Pope. And Pogba again over the free kick will look to fire this one in. It goes in, it goes deep into the middle. It's a great free kick. It comes out. There's a shot from range. It's blocked and charged down and could actually lead to a counter-attack, but it's a great tracking back by Ander Herrera, something he is known for in the Man United team. They go up towards Rashford, who's been pushed out to the right-hand side of this midfield four. Herrera looks to go into Lukaku with a deft pass, but Burnley will now bring this away. It goes out to the right, left-hand side looking for Brady, but it was a poor pass. It goes up to Man United's right. Diego Delot comes in looking for the ball. There's lots of space on the other side for Sancho, but it goes in looking for Icardi. It would have been a very hard ball to control. It's a very well one header. Delot just looking to keep the ball into Pogba. Flicks that back to Lindelof. Out it goes to the left hand side to Tierney. Kieran Tierney comes forward, waiting for some movement in the box. Tierney lays it off to Pogba. Pogba sees the run of Rashford going in towards the back post. Rashford gets up but can't win the header. It's sort of flicking around. Burnley doing their best to clear this. Falls to Herrera with a shot. Oh! Ander Herrera's just put his shooting boots on at half-time and is not afraid to have a go. Rashford flicked it up in the air. Tarkowski heads it away. Flicked on once more by Long. It falls to Herrera. What an effort that is. And Nick Pope was easily good enough to see that wide, but Herrera, a picture of frustration with that shot. And it's going to be 1-0 Burnley. 65 minutes gone. Pogba having the most touches out of any player in this game. It's a completely different Man United team that's come out this second half. They are playing very well as Lennon looks to give the ball to Wood. He tried to feed it through to Ashley Barnes, but Phil Jones intercepts it very, very well. Rashford into Herrera, who turns, gets it away, lays it back into Rashford's pass with a very good ball. Rashford then sees the run of Icardi. Icardi holds it up, lays it out to Sancho. Sancho, good trickery to get around his man. Sancho, oh, he created space, but what a tackle that was in the last ditch attempt from the Burnley man. What a tackle to stop Jadon Sancho. Herrera into Lukaku. Lukaku into Rashford. Rashford is just stopped on the ball, does win it back though and feeds it out to Diego Delot, but he's gone a bit wide, gets it onto his left foot, beats his man, puts a cross in. Not the best cross on his weaker foot, and now it gives an opportunity for Burnley to come away as Pogba gives away a free kick, and that will take some of the pressure off this Burnley back line. Second substitution of the game for Man United. Juan Mata comes on to replace Mauro Icardi, seeing Rashford push up front, so a bit of a less pace on the right hand side for Man United now. Mata is there, but a bit more pace up front given the fact that Rashford has moved into that position. That's a good header back by Ashley Barnes, and he's actually put Brady through, but Diego Delot covers, didn't give De Gea enough time to come out and get that ball. Lindelof into Pogba. Pogba up to Jadon Sancho. Sancho now comes forward with it. He's got Rashford making a decent run out on his outside, but the pass is poor. It's given away. Oh, Lukaku nearly read that ball. Very nearly got on, and Burnley keep possession very well. Sean Dyche will be very happy with how his Burnley team are playing in this game. Given a bit of the opportunities up to Man United in the second half, but in general it's been a very, very good performance here from Burnley, as Robbie Brady's given basically the whole city of Burnley to run into, and De Gea with a fantastic save. 10 minutes to go in this game, and Lindelof puts in a good tackle, and it's just run that out of play. Third and final substitution, and Ander Herrera is replaced by Fred in the middle of the park. There's a bit more energy needed in the engine room for Man United as they go up the line for Lennon. They put the ball in, and it's a good header from Chris Woods, but it's going to need to be something pretty superb to beat David De Gea from that sort of range, and he does not look happy at all as the ball came in here from Lennon. Would get up, but it was right over the bar and not really troubling David De Gea. So De Gea restarts with a goal kick, goes out wide, looking straight for Deulofeu. He's got Fred giving him a little bit of movement in the middle, up to Juan Mata. Juan Mata into Lukaku. Lukaku looking for Rashford, but again it's a poor pass, just not close enough to give that good pass in, and Man United find themselves in a 2-on-1 situation here. Wood has been forced wide. Lindelof does very, very well, showing great strength from the Swede. And can Man United break now? Fred looks to ping a pass out to Sancho, who takes a very good first touch in his stride. What a tackle again from, I think that's Bardsley, the right back for Burnley. Does very well. Lennon gets around Fred pretty easily, dinks the ball over the top looking for Ashley Barnes, who's the wrong side of the defenders. De Gea makes the save, and it goes past the post there. Man United just cannot find their rhythm in the Premier League this season. Really struggling as Bafuma comes on to replace Ashley Barnes up front. 5 minutes to go, and there is Bafuma with his first involvement, and what a save from David De Gea. And it's been released up to Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba now comes forward with it. He's got a lot of space to run into. Jadon Sancho again is free on the far side, but Pogba's ball is intercepted very well, but it's read by Tierney. Tierney goes up to Rashford. Rashford is surely fouled there. The referee says play on, but then brings it back because there's no advantage. And this could be dangerous territory. Paul Pogba is still on the pitch. Oh, it's been given as a foul to Burnley. I don't understand what that's about. Vidra replaces Wood up front. And the Man United players look dead on their feet. Bafuma flicks it on to Vidra. The two subs combining well. It's a great ball through, looking for Robbie Brady as we go into the last minute of injury time. Brady keeps it in play, and Man United need to get this ball forward. Lukaku gets there, but that is the full-time whistle. A monumental win for Burnley here. 1-0 they beat Man United. And Vinko Peritin really needs to sort this out, because this is getting embarrassing for the Man United team and the hierarchy. They now, again, dominate possession, play so much better in the second half, but cannot put their chances away and cannot get the win. Your man of the match in today's game is Ashley Barnes, getting the goal for Burnley. 1-0 here at Turf Moor. Disappointing result all round for everyone involved with Man United. So other results around the table then, around the UK. Arsenal drawing 2-2 with Leicester, Brighton 1-1 with West Ham, Southampton beating Bournemouth 3-0, Watford and Man City 0-0. So both Manchester clubs really struggling at the moment, and the live game we had was Burnley beating Man United 1-0. Liverpool have beaten Everton 2-0 in the Merseyside derby, Chelsea smashing Spurs 4-0, Fulham beating Newcastle 1-0, Huddersfield losing at home 2-0 to Cardiff in what should most people predicted to be a relegation battle, and Wolves are beating Crystal Palace 1-0 at home. All for the league table, it looks like this. Wolves still unbeaten in the league. Liverpool and Chelsea still occupy second and third spots. Burnley find themselves up in fifth, with Southampton climbing to seventh. Watford, Fulham and Cardiff all pull away from the relegation zone and find themselves in 11th, 12th and 13th respectively. Tottenham and Man United occupy 2 places in the relegation zone, with the third and final place taken by Crystal Palace. Man City climb 1 place to 15th, but Newcastle drop into 16th, with Huddersfield overlapping Man United and going into 17th position. So in the next episode it's going to be a very tough game against Chelsea, and we'll see you there for it. Thank you so much for watching, but for now I'm out. Cheers.